Well, ladies and gentlemen, the conversation regarding physical media is also ramping up. Just like the conversation I did in my last video about localization ramping up, this one is getting pretty big because Best Buy made a big shift where they removed all physical media from their stores. Most of their stores are effectively gutted of any physical media like DVDs, video games, and whatnot. They do still have some stores that have some left, but they're going to be working their way out. Now we have a headline here from Bounding Into Comics that says, in beginning shift to all digital future, Microsoft is reportedly making massive cuts to the Xbox physical game release operations. We knew this was going to happen. We knew this is what they've been trying to do since the dawn of time. They've been wanting to take control of everything. I really do believe that a lot of this has to do with control. If they can monopolize the content to the point where they can only be the gatekeepers of whether or not you get to play it or not, and they can basically shut it off and resell it to you in the future on a different console, they will do this. They want to maximize every single IP and game that comes out of the Xbox, and by making everything digital, you are essentially going to do that. So let's get into this article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing to my manga channel. The links are in the description box below in the link tree. I would love to see you there. So it says, in a disheartening sign that the industry has no intention of scaling back their anti-consumer practices, Microsoft's recent round of video game related layoffs have reportedly resulted in the complete closure of the Xbox divisions responsible for producing physical retail copies for their various releases. Now again, nobody is shocked to see this happen. We knew that they were going to be going this route. Unfortunately for me, I am heavily against this. I am heavily against this nonsense. And let me be very transparent. I am mostly a PC gamer, which means that most of my video games that I buy are digital release only. However, I buy those games usually on sale. I only ever pay full price for one or two certain IPs that I can never just stay away from. Usually that's Final Fantasy games and Diablo. I do pay full price for them normally, unfortunately, but everything else I pay a massive sale when it goes on sale for Steam. And I understand that when I pay that $10.99, that $9.99, or even that $13, $14.99 instead of the $69.99 or the $59.99, I understand that I don't actually own these games. I also understand that at any point, if Steam were to go away, every single one of my games would go away as well, and I would be asked out. I understand that. This is why I do not pay the prices that they're asking for on console, because I know I have nothing to show for it. Essentially, I'm just basically buying the license to play the game, and that's essentially what the terms of service say anyway. But the real difference here is that console players are willing to spend the same amount of money that they would on a physical copy on a digital copy, and that's why you're getting screwed. These people are realizing that you can get the same amount of money, and while removing the physical aspect of the actual video game production, you're going to save so much money on labor. You're going to save so much money on costs, parts, all that stuff. You're saving it on everything, and you're selling it digitally to the same idiot who would have paid the same amount of money and got more for his money, but instead all he did was buy it online and pay the same. It is just so stupid. I don't know why console players do this. It really doesn't make any sense. You should wait until the games are much, much cheaper, because you are not getting the same value. If one of them is $69.99 and the other is $69.99 and you get one physical or one digital, I would always go for the physical, because at least you have something to show for your money. Otherwise, you are taking a risk. At any point, they can either ban you from the game, remove you, terminate the actual license for the game, whatever. They might completely remove it from their store, removing access from you having it, and now you're asked out. They're going to keep your money and they're keeping your game. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm heavily against this. I do consider it to be very anti-consumer. The entire removal of physical media is heavily anti-consumer. And a lot of people are like, well, 90% of people buy games digitally. That's fine. You still have 10% that do not, and you are excluding them for the 90% to become more profitable. That's messed up. If you want an example, majority of books are sold physically. About a little over 80% of books are sold physically. But if you want to use an 80-20 rule, 80% is sold physically, 20% is sold digitally. So you mean to tell me we should just remove all digital and force people to buy physical? No, the whole point is to have multiple options. That is consumer friendly. What they're doing here is consumer malpractice. They are not trying to be friendly to the consumer. They're trying to be friendly to their pockets. They're trying to be friendly to their bottom line. And all this money that they're going to be saving by not doing physical releases, they are not going to improve their product at all from it. They're just going to put it in the pockets of the CEOs and all the corporate people who are there, and that's it. They're not improving a damn thing by saving all this money. All you're doing is helping them at the end of the day just buy another yacht. It says word of this operation shut down was first broken to the public on January 25th, courtesy of Windows Central managing editor Jez Corden, taking to his personal Twitter account in the wake of the aforementioned job cuts, which affected roughly 1,900 employees across Activision Blizzard King, Xbox, and ZeniMax. Corden relayed that not only had multiple sources informed him that Microsoft is laying off the entire internal customer support teams for Activision Blizzard King games, save a few, and outsourcing the rest to the external companies abroad, but that they also had confirmed that the company's plan to shut down departments dedicated to bringing Xbox games to physical retail. While his sources did not appear to provide him any outright explanation as to the reasoning behind his latter move, Corden noted himself, "If you've seen the digital-only Xbox console leaks, well, you can get an idea of where Microsoft is going from here." Well, the funny thing is, you don't need to see that to understand that that's where games are trying to go. Like, they want to all go that route. Ubisoft subscription president, whatever the hell his title is, he openly came out and said that gamers need to be comfortable not owning their games. Gamers need to be comfortable with the subscription model. That's what they want. They want that recurring income, and they also want to screw you on giving you less for your money. It's a double whammy. They want to do this because it's better for their own pocket. It's better for their bottom line, at least until they get to the point where they start overspending again, and then they're going to keep cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. Before you know it, you're not going to have much left. Xbox is no different than Ubisoft. They all think the same exact way. Every single game that I've been playing right now all acts the same exact way, and they want to take away physical copies. They want to make it a reality. The only difference is it's very difficult for that to happen. Gamers are not happy about that. And a lot of people are saying, well, most gamers pay, digitally. That's fine, but there is still a vast majority, at least vocally anyway, that is heavily into either collecting or just overall owning a physical copy, going to the store, picking up a game, going back home, loading it up, and playing. They want to do that. So you're going to have these problems as time goes on. It says, per marketing documents accidentally revealed by Microsoft's lawyers amidst the company's legal battle with the Federal Trade Commission regarding their then desired and eventually successful purchase of Activision Blizzard King, this year will see Microsoft release a mid-generation refresh for their Xbox Series X, which in addition to such changes as a bigger stock hard drive, reduced power usage capabilities, and a new cylindrical design, will also drop the model's currently included disk drive. As such, upon the successful phasing out of the base model at retailers in favor of this refreshed one, the Xbox ecosystem will be left with no supported version of the console capable of playing games from a physical disc. And that is super, super sad. Imagine having a console like an Xbox or a PS5 and you can't even load a disc, man. And again, I know they have a digital PS5, but I never am a fan of that. I bought the physical one, of course, like a lot of people did, and a lot of people aim for the physical one. They only go for the digital one because it's cheaper, or it was readily available back when they weren't readily available, so they got that first just to have a PS5. But for me, I will always go with physical copies. If I'm going to play a game on console, which is very rare already as it is, I'm going to want a physical copy for the game. If I don't have a physical copy, then I'm feeling like I'm getting ripped off. Plain and simple. PC is something totally different because the games are almost always on sale, and even if they're not on sale, they are inherently cheaper by usually $10 or so. In console, that is not the case. So unfortunately, it looks like digital is trying to win over physical media, and people are just letting it happen in a complacent manner. I am not one of those people, and hopefully some of you guys will join me in this discussion as we talk about it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.